The sun dipped below the skyline of Greywall City, casting long shadows over its towering buildings. In the heart of Watchlight headquarters, chaos buzzed through every hallway. Elena's best friend, Ava, paced back and forth, her eyes scanning the reports flashing across the monitors. Elena had been missing for days, and no one seemed to know where she had gone. Just as Ava was about to head out to search for answers, a sudden rumbling shook the entire building. Alarms blared, and red lights flashed across the screens. She rushed to the window, her heart pounding. Outside, sleek, metallic robots soared through the sky, their eyes glowing with an eerie red light. Down below, chaos spread like wildfire. Shops were looted, people ran in terror, and towering machines patrolled the streets, forcing citizens to kneel before them. Victor Varnok's voice crackled through speakers planted across the city. "Citizens of Greywall City," he boomed. "Your city now belongs to me. Those who do not obey will face the wrath of my Iron Legion. Resistance is death." Ava's hands balled into fists. Her mind raced with questions, but one burned brighter than the rest: where was Elena? She grabbed her jacket and hurried out of Watchlight headquarters, blending in with the panicked crowds. She ducked behind corners, avoiding the sharp gazes of the patrolling robots. They moved with cold precision, scanning faces and demanding obedience. Red energy pulsed from their cores, a power she had never seen before, something dark and dangerous. As she crept through the winding alleys, Ava's eyes landed on the city center. A massive stage had been set up, and standing tall in its center was Victor Varnok himself. He wore a dark coat that billowed behind him, his eyes alight with triumph. The Iron Legion stood at attention, lined up perfectly with their red cores glowing like beating hearts. "From this day forward," Varnok announced, his voice carrying through the city like thunder, "Greywall City is mine. Disobedience will be met with force. Join me, or be destroyed." His eyes scanned the crowd, and Ava ducked behind a broken-down car, her breath shaky. She couldn't believe it, Greywall City had fallen under his control. Ava backed away slowly, her mind racing. She had to get back to Watchlight headquarters, warn the others, and most importantly, find Elena. As she moved through the crowded streets, she suddenly froze. There, walking briskly down the sidewalk, was Marcus. Her blood ran cold. He walked confidently, slipping between robots as if they recognized him. Ava's heart pounded. Marcus was one of them. A traitor. Determined to find out more, she followed him from a distance. He turned down a narrow street, leading her to the outskirts of the city where abandoned factories loomed like forgotten giants. She slipped behind crates and barrels, keeping her footsteps light. Finally, Marcus stopped before a massive iron gate guarded by two towering robots. They stepped aside for him without hesitation. Ava's eyes widened as he entered what looked like a prison complex, its iron bars stretching high into the sky. Her heart clenched. If Marcus was here, maybe, just maybe, Elena was too. Ava watched from the shadows as Marcus disappeared inside. She took a deep breath and moved closer, her hand resting on the hilt of her sword, a gift from Elena on her last birthday. The blade was unlike any she had seen before, sleek, sharp, and capable of shooting electric waves strong enough to paralyze small robots. Now was the time to put it to use. Two guards flanked the entrance, their red cores pulsing. Ava gripped the sword tightly, took a deep breath, and leaped from the shadows. With a flick of her wrist, blue electric currents shot from the blade, striking the first guard square in the chest. Sparks flew as it collapsed to the ground. Before the second could react, she spun and fired again, the electric wave sending it crumbling in a heap of metal. The entrance lay open. Ava stepped through, heart pounding. The inside was dark and damp, the walls lined with security monitors and steel doors. She moved quietly, ducking behind pillars and avoiding the gaze of security cameras. Her footsteps echoed softly as she crept deeper into the maze of hallways. In one of the rooms, she spotted a wall lined with keycards and surveillance feeds. Desks were cluttered with blueprints and weapon designs. Her eyes darted across the screens until, there. Elena, locked in a cell, her face pale but determined. Ava moved quickly, scanning the room for anything that could help. On the far wall, a large control panel blinked with lights. Rows of keycards hung neatly, each labeled with numbers. She grabbed a handful, stuffing them into her pockets before sneaking back into the hallway. Meanwhile, deep in the prison, Marcus stepped up to Elena's cell. He smiled coldly. "Didn't think I'd see you here, did you?" he sneered. Elena stood, her fists clenched. "You betrayed us," she spat. Marcus chuckled, crossing his arms. "Victor always promised me power. Watchlight is finished. Greywall is ours now." Elena glared, her eyes burning with fury. "You won't win. Ava will find me. She'll stop you." Marcus laughed again, shaking his head. "By the time she even gets close, it'll be too late. Enjoy your stay, Elena." With that, he turned and marched away, leaving Elena alone in the darkness. Ava, just a few hallways away, gripped the keycards tightly. She wasn't going to let Marcus be right. She was coming for Elena, and Victor Varnok was going to pay. Ava took a deep breath, her hand trembling as she slid the first keycard through the scanner. A red light blinked. Wrong one. She tried another. Nothing. Frustrated but determined, she kept trying. On the fifth attempt, a green light flashed, and the steel door creaked open. Ava slipped inside, heart pounding as she moved closer to Elena's cell. She was almost there. Subscribe for more interesting stories.